Hope you guys can hear me well. It's kind of shitty. I'm going live from my laptop, which is Windows, which is not the latest one. But anyways, it's been a while since I did last YouTube live video, and it's Sunday midnight here, but I have a little more time, so I decided to just hop in, kind of say what's up, kind of basically just say what's up. I haven't done YouTube live for a long time, maybe 3-4 months, and feel like I need to do it sometimes once in a while, not just for audience, but also for myself. But it's been a while. A lot of things happened. I finished fitness competition last month. It's been a month already. Exactly 5 weeks ago, I did fitness competition. That was my major 2019 goal for fitness. I achieved it pretty good. Feels pretty great about it. I also achieved another big 2019 New Year's resolution, which was about related to career and my lifestyle. So actually tomorrow I'm gonna be posting a new video about my new lifestyle move. Big announcement tomorrow coming along, so stay tuned for that. In tomorrow's video, I'm gonna reveal what is going on past 2 months, achieving my biggest goal of 2018. So by the time you watch my video tomorrow, there's already time lag. I've already recorded that video a month ago. So right now here is gonna make sense after you watch a video tomorrow. But I'm not gonna reveal, where I am or what I've been doing. Just make sure to watch the video tomorrow about the big announcement, life movement. But other than that, I'm still going to gym 5 times a week. I need to plan out my vacation because I have 6 weeks, right? And I'm thinking either right now Japan in winter time, like maybe not winter, but like fall, maybe October. Japan, Taiwan, Hong Kong. Also this summer, I might do, I want to really do Italy, Croatia beach, southern France. Also I want to do Eastern Europe, Kiev, Ukraine, Kiev, Odessa. So a lot of place to actually visit and go. And I don't know if I have enough time to, visit them all, but it's a good concern because it's already mid of June, so we only have 6 months left, and I don't think I can squeeze in 2 big long vacations. It's a good worries. Other than that, a lot of stuff to catch up and after you guys, but some of the stuff won't be in a public YouTube channel because some of them are more sensitive or some of them are more personal. So I'm gonna be posting more of those more private videos in my Patreon page. Something related to my career, or interview, or negotiation, or anything related to other more sensitive career stuff. I'm gonna be posting on Patreon page, which is a membership, which is not different from public free YouTube channel. So if you're really interested in stuff like moving to a different country, or the Patreon page is more for serious people who want to know about immigrating to a new country for work visa situation, or getting a new job in Europe or Canada, or what is the lifestyle, like where should you live in the future if you want to have family. I talked about I talk a lot about, whether, living in Canada is a good option in future. But I've thought about quite a bit about whether living in Canada for next 20 years, 30 years is going to be a good option, or which country to live. For example, Japan, for example, Canada, United States, Europe, Germany, Switzerland, Sweden. I've done a whole research for the past 6 months, so I can talk quite a bit about it. Work visa situation, job industry, job market, salary compensation, taxing, education system, medical health insurance, everything I can talk about. So I'm planning to make a series of videos about those software engineer relocating or immigrating to North America or to Europe in Patreon page. And I want to talk about a little more stuff about whether the reason is that what I think about whether living in Canada long time is a good option, my opinion. But anyways, I can see you guys commenting. So what's up? Long time no see. Being pretty busy, personal stuff, fitness, also my career, my lifestyle. Um, YouTube has taken kind of backseat because I need to focus on my life first, and then second, YouTube side project. But I like to keep you guys updated. This is kind of like lifestyle blog channel, so I want to keep it open with you guys as much as possible. But there definitely time lags between the events happen and the time that I post videos on the YouTube channel. Other than that, I'm gonna mention stuff like what I think about living in Canada in the future. Like, is there any future possibility in any long-term potentials? Are there, what's the positive and downside, negative sides of like living in Canada? Do I see myself living in Canada with family? What about United States? And talk to many people about it. Basically, if you're not living in North America, it's kind of hard to think about those stuff because you don't see culture, you don't see actual social system, you don't really see actual issues that United States or Canada are dealing with. So I'm gonna give you a little bit more context, but United States definitely no, hell no, no go. There's no way to have family and live long term in United States. There's nothing. All right, that's kind of like a common consensus among many people that I've talked to, as well as mine. But biggest thing being medical insurance, health insurance cost, and like just too expensive education costs for future kids, safety, and health insurance. Basically, safety net. Just in the United States, just it's not that innovative social country to live. Just so much risk. You never know. You might get sick. You might get sick. 20 years from now, when you're 40, 45, when you need the most money for kids, you might get fired or you might get sick. And what if you don't have medical insurance? What if you get fired and you can't even get medical insurance because you're already sick, and you're gonna probably die from just medical costs. That's impossible. That's um, unintolerable. So United States out. Fuck United States. Just kidding. But no go United States. And what about Canada? Canada's medical health insurance system is pretty decent. I think it's pretty on par with European one. Education system wise, it's a little much cheaper than American one. Decent. Mm, Education is in English, so it has advantage in global world. But when it comes to education system compared to European ones, it's not free. So that's something. Just it's not black and white, but definitely for parents, if university education is free, then less pressure, right? but free education doesn't mean it's always good, right? I would say Canadian or North American university education system is more innovative and progressive, whereas European education system tend to be more focused on theory, uh, theoretical top-down approach, and it's not as flexible or innovative or practical. I found in computer science or software engineering degree, most of them are focused on theory. So, you know, it really depends on what you want to learn, but still, some of the best universities are from Europe, like Switzerland, Germany, London, UK. Um, so, it's something that I don't need to worry about. It's up to, my future kids to worry about. But they at least have a free option to get that free education system so that they don't need to worry about high education costs like United States, right? So I don't want my kids to suffer from the same situation like I had, where I needed to, hustle so much, so a lot to just to come up with education costs and living costs, and education should be available to many people as long as they have motivation to study. Whereas me, I was struggling quite a bit financially because of my parents' situation, same as language English issue. If you are born and grew up in Japan, you're gonna have a handicap because you can't speak English. So that's something that I definitely want to avoid for my future generation. If you're living in Japan, if you're going to high school in Japan, you just have just so much disadvantage, handicaps against other people who are in the English speaking countries, or maybe Switzerland or Netherlands or Denmark, where most majority of people can speak English pretty well, like Sweden. Whereas Japan, it just limits your opportunity. So that's that. So Canada versus Europe. I would say, as a parent's perspective, I'm not parents. But in the future, if I become parents, definitely it's easy to live in Europe because more work and life balance. What I mean by work and life balance is that when you work, you have more vacation days. People are more conscious about family time. For example, they have more like Sundays. Some businesses are not working, so Sunday is dedicated for family. So you don't need to work, all the stores closed. Whereas in Japan, business is going around, night, midnight, early morning, and family is not the top priority. So depending on where you live and different society you live, the different values, perspectives, what's considered important. So given that, definitely United States is out, Canada. But I would say Europe is better for work-life balance, more social system to build family and kids education, government support and whatnot. Um, so that's the reason why Canada is not the best, and there's a better place to live personally, and vacation wise as well. Canada, it's far away. What do I think about Australia or New Zealand? Because they're one of the developed countries, English speaking countries. But do I think about living in New Zealand or Australia in the future? Yes and no. I definitely consider living in New Zealand once I retire or once I settle down with family. Like maybe if I'm like 35 or 40 years old, I'd love to live in New Zealand because it's just a beautiful country, small. It's not like a big as Australia or United States or Canada. So it's not like a car-centric country, and you can get around pretty easily in New Zealand. And nature is just beautiful. They have beach, mountains, sheep, hot spring, and just beautiful country. I visited there when I was in high school, and I've always wanted to go back there once I retire. It's just such a beautiful country. So New Zealand, I definitely consider that. Australia, yes and no. You know what? Currently, Australia's immigration situation is pretty difficult, even for us software engineer. It's just so difficult right now. For if you're just normal guy, people, you probably don't have chance to immigrate because just so many Asian Chinese immigrants already in Australia, and their Australian government is closing the doors. So it's definitely hard. So in terms of the easiness of immigration, Germany easiest, um, Canada next easiest, and then it gets harder and harder if you go to United Kingdom, United States, and Australia, and Switzerland. Because there's a visa cap in UK for work visa, same as in United States, in Switzerland. So their upper limit, how many work visas that they can issue. So Switzerland, London, United States, same. And in terms of Australia, why I don't like to go there or like live there is because it's one of the most isolated place in the entire world, kind of like South America, or you know, kind of like Brazil or South Africa. Once you get stuck in Australia, you can get out. To fly to Asia or to fly to Japan takes 15 hours. To fly to Europe from Australia takes 35 hours. There's no direct flights. You need to have a stopover in Middle East, like Dubai. So what kind of vacation can you take if you live in Australia? Even if you have 4 weeks vacation in Australia, it takes 35 hours to fly to Europe or 15 hours in Japan, you know. So you're gonna be so limited. Um, so that's the reason why I don't want to live in such a secluded, isolated city like Australia. Even if weather is really nice, but it's such a huge country, you need a car. And vacation-wise, it's not easy to get around. Uh, so that's that. So Australia is kind of out because it's such big, and it's not for minimalist. For minimalists, importance is connectivity, logistics, and compactness. You don't want to own a car here, minimalist. So Australia, United States out, Canada kind of out. And connectivity wise and social welfare, social system wise, Europe wins. Not all the countries in Europe, but certain countries. So that's something that I'm going to talk more about in the Patreon page if you're interested. That's about that. So that's why Canada is not the best. It's boring as hell in the winter time. It's depressing as hell for 8 months of a year. And so if you're retired, you could just live in Canada. And during the winter time, you can escape to warmer place. But if you're working and then just try to have more things happening, Canada, it's not as happening as like other bigger cities. And that makes you feel like you are like wasting some time, you know, because you're not too much in the winter time. And people, social activity wise, much colder, not much activity going on. People are not that, social, to be honest, in Canada. Maybe climate or weather affects their, behavior. They tend to be much colder than other places. I would say people in a warmer place tend to be much happier, more uplifting, more energetic, spontaneous, kind. So that's that too. But anyways, I'll stop talking. Um, to be honest, I have many Japanese YouTube viewers, and I know I used to post Japanese videos, but as of now, I don't post any Japanese spoken videos for my lifestyle reason, and I don't see any benefit about talking Japanese to audience, to be honest. So I'm sorry if I don't, comment back in Japanese, or if I don't talk in Japanese in my videos, because just we are in a different headspace, we're in a different world. Um, but I would definitely totally support whoever watching my videos and whoever wants to expand their lifestyle in like abroad. I can help you with that um, by giving you information, resources um, that you guys probably don't have access to. If you just live in Japan, just reading all the Japanese news and articles. So For that, I'm only looking to interact with audiences in English. So I see most, everybody is like commenting in Japanese, and I know you want me to speak Japanese, right? Do you really want to? Do you want me to speak Japanese, and do you want me to comment back in Japanese? Yeah, because there's no point speaking Japanese for me. I'm sorry, but I don't want to be stuck in that legacy language that nobody uses in business or practical world. That's how I see Japanese language as. And really, to me, kind of like a programming language. There are some legacy programming code base, some really old programming language, and people update their language all the time because it gets outdated. Japanese language is like that. It's really legacy, old, classic language that nobody uses in business world. It's just for practice. It's just for daily, more cultural usage for use. It doesn't have any practical usage really. In if you work in a global world industry, and for that reason, I stopped using Japanese because I want to polish my English skills, not for my business and career, but also my personal life. For example, friendship. For example, dating. It's gonna enable me more by enabling the international language and speaking Japanese. I'm not saying Japanese language is bad, but it has certain taste, flavor for every language. And Japanese would be funny because I sometimes watch Japanese comedy show, so certain accents or slangs or phrases, or if you like watching Japanese animes, mangas, the Japanese language has its own charm. I do love Japanese food, so I'm thinking about visiting back. But for real, if you're watching my YouTube channel, you know, you must be interested in living abroad or working abroad, or become a global citizen, or moving to North America or moving to Europe, right? So it does make sense for you to use English all the time, because I'm not one of those. I'm not one of those just a Japanese YouTuber just living abroad and then making YouTube videos in Japanese about, oh, what is a new Starbucks coffee, or oh, let me introduce you to a convenience store in LA, or I'm not that. I'm just living my professional life and living. I'm not there working holiday. I'm not there to study English or ESL. Uh, so toward different perspective, you know. So I'm not learning English. I'm not learning vocabularies and grammars, or try to make international friends just for the sake of abroad experience. That's for people on a holiday, working holiday, or study permit. They can do that, but they don't have real business living in their local society, making money, paying tax, and then living as a local people because they're outside of localness. So, different perspective, and yeah, I'm gonna talk about. But I'm gonna drop some knowledge about Japanese culture versus European culture versus North American culture. Like a cultural comparison, something that interests me as well. Um, Cultural, social um, difference, awareness. So I talk a lot about self-awareness, conscious mind, and how the reason why I like to travel is because it enables me, it allows me to have different perspective on certain things like culture, social system, the way they live life, and it gives me different perspective. It opens my eyes, it broadens my perspective. So I'm definitely, the way I live right now is like, observing different system, different way of living, habits, customs in different countries. So definitely I'm gonna be making more videos about cultural, social difference kind of related videos. Um, that should be pretty interesting for me and for some people. So yeah, my audience would be just in general who are interested in those stuff. That's about it. Pretty much I was talking to myself for this YouTube live because it seems like audiences are a little bit mismatched. What I want to pursue in the future and the current videos, and audiences that I gained from previous videos are a little bit different, and so that's a reason why maybe there's a discrepancy in interest between mine and previous audiences from previous kind of contents I was making, and that's why I'm moving on to new contents that fit, that's aligned more with my lifestyle and where I want to go in the future. And what you don't see is my long-term vision, where I'm going. And I'm already making quite a bit of progress and investment. I see my vision in my brain, and I, take actions, work on myself. So I don't necessarily work on making videos that's gonna get more views, because that doesn't mean anything to me. YouTube is not my profession or my main priority. My priority is my lifestyle building, development, happiness, personal happiness, living my lifestyle. So focus on that, and maybe you don't see interest in my videos. That's okay for now, because I have specific plans. I have specific missions and visualization and then purposes in my life, and I started focusing on those stuff. So my video is going to be a little bit more different as time goes, because I grow and I change and I adapt. So I'm not the same person as last year. So you're going to see different kind of contents. So what you don't see is that, oh, why Sashi is making this kind of videos of fitness? Nobody is interested in his physique or body or fitness, but in the long-term vision, fitness is one of the bigger my lifestyle missions, and it does make sense for me to post that. So yeah, so some people might find my YouTube channel is not interesting anymore because content's changing, but for me, what, it's the beginning of a long-term direction that I'm going. I see the big picture. I haven't talked to you guys about where I'm headed, but I have a clear set big pictures, and I'm already achieving it. And more and more future contents coming, better, something that I can visualize, and I can to achieve something. You need to dream first. So I'm already dreaming. I have visions, and I'm working on it right now. And I'm gonna be investing in good cameras. I'm gonna be traveling a lot, vacations, 6 weeks, and I'm gonna have really cool people to hang out with, surround myself with. So a lot of cool stuff is gonna happen because of the current hard work that I'm putting in right now, that you don't necessarily see on my YouTube channel videos. So yeah, that's that. I just need to let you know, guys, about where my YouTube channel is headed, because I don't talk about that stuff these days because pretty busy, and when I post new videos, it's usually lagging with what I've been up to. I usually post videos that I took 2 months ago or 1 month ago. Within 2 months, I changed quite a bit. So, anyways, that's all I wanted to talk about. Probably not so interesting to you guys, but I like to have more fun YouTube videos on my channel, because I realize most of the stuff that I talk about on my channel is pretty serious, pretty logical, not so emotional or fun, because maybe in Canada in winter time I didn't have time or opportunity to have some fun activity. But if opportunities allow, I want to make more videos outside when I'm doing some fun activities. That's my plan, because it's good to have some serious logical videos, but sometimes it's fun to shake things up. Anyways, this was pretty spontaneous live, guerrilla YouTube live. Whoever commented, hello, how are you? Thank you guys. I'm pretty good. Hope you guys are doing well too. Yes. Hope you guys have a wonderful time now. It's getting summertime, right? Summer. So. Yeah, thank you guys for watching. You guys have a good night too. I think I'm gonna finish this YouTube stream. Unless you have any specific questions that I can answer. I'm getting a new apartment set up right now, by the way. My new IKEA bed is gonna come this week, hopefully. I'm currently sleeping on a cushion, which is not bad. Guys. Alright, I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.